Everywhere you go now, this is what you see. Images like this. People in masks, staying far away from each other. Families. I wonder if families are doing this at home as well. I hope not. Here's a lady wearing a bra as a mask. And another one. I'm not sure if they're mocking it or if they're thinking they're really protecting themselves. Whatever the case, people everywhere wearing different masks. This guy's got a tampon on his face. I mean, I don't know what this is, but this is really getting ridiculous, don't you think? At least you can see a face behind this one. Even though it's a frown, a face. You got people making a fashion statement now with their masks. And oh no, the poor cat. I mean, I can't believe he's tolerating wearing that. I have to admit that I have become very annoyed and even angered at times seeing all these people everywhere wearing these masks. Not only does it look really stupid in my opinion, but it is actually really creepy looking. But mostly, is a mask really going to protect you and stop the spread of this so-called pandemic? If you do some research, there are numerous articles and videos stating that masks not being effective in preventing the transmission of these viral particles. Here's an article written by Shane Nelson, MD, PhD, on the U.S. National Library of Medicine National Institute of Health website, stating that face masks are not designed or certified to protect the wearer from exposure to respiratory hazards. I went back to try to find the article, but I can't find it now, but I'm sure you could if you did some looking.
National Academy of Sciences in community settings, quote, face masks are not designed or certified to protect the wearer from exposure to respiratory hazards. Another study showed that surgical masks don't provide protection for aerosols, and they gave a range, but the COVID-19 is in that range. It's not protective for that. In household settings, I found 2 studies showing that in a household, surgical masks do not prevent transmission of the flu. Surgical masks, all right? Now, due to shortages, a lot of health directors, including ours, have been instructing people to make their own masks out of cloth. According to a hospital study in which hospital wards were randomized to medical masks, cloth masks, or a control group, which included a high proportion of people who wore some type of mask, the rate of infection was highest in the cloth mask group as compared to the group wearing any other type of mask. Transmission of viral particles through cloth masks was almost 97%. And the reasons cited included moisture retention, reuse of the masks, and poor filtration, all of which can actually increase rather than decrease the risk of infection. The researchers concluded that the results, quote, could be interpreted as harm caused by cloth masks. You heard that right. Harm caused by cloth masks. A recent study done this year in South Korea looked at...
There are numerous other videos and doctors talking about this, but exposing the truth, a lot of them being deleted. So it just goes to show you there's something more to this COVID-19. This COVID-19 embodies more than just a virus. You gotta wonder, is there really a pandemic at all? I don't think so, in my opinion. I think it's part of a bigger plan. And I think you too will see the same if you just do some looking into it other than your just regular mainstream news media. With images and signs like these everywhere, it becomes obvious that it's the perfect plan. Keep people in their homes. Don't have people come together. Cover your faces. Cover your mouths. Here is what it's truly symbolic of. Running around wearing these masks. In the Constitution, in your First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Well, if you haven't noticed, each one of those rights under this COVID-19 pandemic, they say, well, we need to limit your freedoms and your rights for your own safety. And it just seemed way too easy for them to control so many people. So people just give up their rights, say, okay, whatever you want. What do you want us to do next? Can I go outside? Can I go to my friend's house tonight? I mean, come on, people. These are not things that we need a permission from a government for to pass out and take away as they see fit. If you don't take this as an insult to your intelligence, and you don't do further research on this, then I'm afraid you're going to be deceived of a lot more coming in the future. No, I can't do it. No, I will not do it.
What if the experts are wrong? What if quarantining the healthy doesn't actually save lives? What if wearing a mask in public is not effective? My name is Dr. Jeff Barkey, and I'm here representing thousands of physicians across the country whose voices are being silenced because we don't agree with the mainstream media and the experts who are telling us what to do. Never in the history of this great republic have we quarantined the healthy. Never in the history of this great republic have we told churchgoers that it's illegal for you to exercise your First Amendment right of freedom of religion. Yet at the same time, it's essential to keep pot dispensaries open. Never in the history of this country have we been told that you can't go to church because it's non-essential, but you can go get an abortion because that's essential. Never before in our country have we let criminals out of jail, but we've told you you can't exercise your Second Amendment right and protect yourself by purchasing a firearm. When liquor stores are deemed essential, but your businesses are deemed non-essential, there's something wrong going on. This booklet, the Declaration of Independence and our U.S. Constitution, was never designed to restrain the people. It was designed to restrain the government. This is not New York, and thank God this is not San Francisco. Governor Newsom has gone too far. Governor Newsom has stepped on our liberties and our freedoms. As a physician, I can tell you, yes, this virus is dangerous, but as we see the statistics come in, we're realizing that the fatality rate of this virus is in the ballpark of a bad seasonal influenza. What we're also knowing is that just like other respiratory viral illnesses in the past, we get over this virus by achieving herd immunity. We can never achieve herd immunity by keeping the herd quarantined. It's time that we protect the vulnerable and the most at risk, but we allow the young and the healthy to open the doors and go back to work. Do not let your voices be silenced. Make sure that your elected representatives, who apparently are essential, hear your voice loud and clear. As we see unemployment...
I hope people start to open their eyes and see the real truth. And this, we're all in this together propaganda. Like people are accepting this as a new norm. I hope and I pray not, people. When we say we're all in this together, it should be for a positive thing, coming together with our fellow man, not coming together in a forced, controlled, restricted, miserable, unhappy pandemic, distancing from each other. More than ever, we need to come together, or we will be in this together, 6 feet under. I might seem a little focused on this mask thing, but I am. It's so symbolic of so much more. Please, everybody, don't accept this as the new norm. And don't just take my word for it. Do your own research. Think for yourself. Mostly, pray to God for guidance to the truth. And He will show you and help open your eyes. Actually, He foretold all of this in His book. And this whole pandemic is just part of a bigger plandemic that's been in the works for a long time. By the puppets doing the dirty deeds for this here puppet master. So while the COVID-19 plan is in full play, they move on to the next step of their pandemic. I'm sure you've all seen this video, but what I want to point out here is that trash can there with the 666 all the way around it. Numbers in the occult are very important, the numbers and the symbols. There are numerous numbers and symbols in this video. There's a YouTube video called The Last Dance de los Muertos, Dance Macabre. I'll leave a link in the description. I urge you to go watch that video as he explains this very well about the meanings and all this. And this is quite disturbing to watch. The cops continued to do this for nearly 10 minutes, knowing that they were being videotaped, but not seeming to care. It's like they wanted you to see this. It's like they knew what the outcome would be. And what was this outcome? Of course it was. And the riots and the violence and the protests has only continued to escalate since this. And I do not mean to diminish the pain from anybody who has suffered from the COVID-19, nor to lessen the recognition of those in law enforcement who do put their lives on the line every day and deal with the worst of the worst to honor that oath to serve and protect us. In a lot of places, now you are unable to enter or receive any goods or services without wearing a mask. I wonder what this is leading to. Could this here really be what that means in Revelation 13?
我注意到，在美国也会有一些网友甚至攻击您，说病毒是从您疫苗的这个研制过程中出来的。您在用什么样的心态面对这种声音？
I'd say it's ironic if you take somebody who's doing their best to get the world ready and, putting, in my case, billions of dollars into these tools for infectious diseases and really trying to solve broadly infectious diseases, including those that can cause pandemics. But that, we're in a crazy situation, so there's going to be crazy rumors. I hope, whether it's individuals or countries, that in some ways this shows us how interdependent we are. That to stop a global pandemic, we need to find whoever's the best, whatever the best vaccine construct are, the best drugs, and we need to make it without just focusing on one country. We need to make it for the entire world, including for countries that don't have the resources to pay for vaccine research or vaccine factories. They're actually, in many ways, should be the priority for what we do. So, there's lots of attacks out there. In general, people have been very positive. In some ways, this shows us how interdependent we are. That to stop a global pandemic, we need to find whoever's the best, whatever the best vaccine construct are, the best drugs, and we need to make it without just focusing on one country. We need to make it for the entire world, including for countries that don't have the resources to pay for vaccine research or vaccine factories. They're actually, in many ways, should be the priority for what we do. So,
could this really be what that means?
There's lots of attacks out there.
And now with the COVID-19 and
people have been very
the
positive.
push to get everybody vaccinated, do you know what's in them vaccinations? I urge you to look up what is in the vaccinations. And if you do, I don't think you would risk it. And now, not especially with what Bill wants to add to it. Would you hand your child to this man? Let him stick that needle in their arm? Then why would you let this man? So, what is their agenda? And who are they? The elites who want to rule over all. A group of psychopaths who own all the banks. Control the government. And all the media. These elite psychopaths who run things, they fund both sides of all the wars for profit. They manufacture the consent of the public through the media and propaganda. And they use constant exposure to this violence to traumatize us and make us easier to control. And do you know how they acquire all this wealth, power, and control? It is through their satanic masses and rituals. That are required to summon up these demons and devils. And demons require a blood sacrifice to bring them into this world and bind them to a task, a living blood sacrifice. For the larger and more powerful spell, then the more blood that is required to successfully cast it. As is befitting in the realm of evil and corruption, the more you care for the persons whose blood is being spilled, the more powerful the magic that will come from it. According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, roughly 800,000 children are reported missing each year in the United States. That's roughly 2,000 a day. You don't believe that the people that are running our government, that the elites, are a bunch of sick, psychopathic pedophiles who practice satanic rituals and child sacrificing? Just look further into the Hillary and Podesta emails. and the Pizzagate and Epstein and all those who Here's a book called The Franklin Cover-Up about child abuse, Satanism, and murder in Nebraska. There's a documentary called The Conspiracy of Silence, which talks about Boys Town in Omaha, Nebraska, and boys being taken from there to Washington for sex parties and sex trafficking. I will leave a link in the description. If this doesn't anger and outrage you, this is what angers me and outrages me the most. And amidst rioting and protests going on, these children are suffering and dying with the most heinous things happening to them. Where are the protesters for that? Who is standing up in defense of these children? People need to open their eyes, quit being manipulated by the media. Look for the truth. Because these children's lives matter the most. It is your responsibility to your children. Pray for guidance to the truth, and you will see what's really going on. So if you've only watched the mainstream media who've told you that there's a pandemic causing virus and that you must stay far away from everybody, from the people you love, from your friends and your neighbors, don't gather together and assemble with people. You need to shut down your businesses, your churches, and your cities. Shut down the world. Shut down your life. Cover your faces. Cover your mouths. Give up your rights. Give up your freedom, or you will die, or you will cause someone else to die. Is this the kind of world you want your children to grow up in? It's already bad enough that people interact and socialize less from all the electronics and social media. I feel sorry for the children, especially the babies, that will be exposed to this type of environment early in their life and possibly for extended periods of time. What kind of effect is this going to have on them? And now, if all they see in their communities is a bunch of faceless people sharing no smiles, no kind of emotions, staying far away from each other, sharing no human contact, what kind of people and personalities will this type of environment create? Remember, though, those behind this, doing this all in the world, controlling all this, they are just puppets who are being controlled by a master puppeteer, the invisible enemy. But our battle is real. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. Stand, therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. I urge everybody to take off your masks and exercise your freedoms. Hold those you love close. Don't distance yourself, but cherish every moment with them. Train up a child in the way he should go, and even when he is old, he will not depart from it.